Hey everyone, it's Jennifer. So today I thought I would show you one of the other aspects of my life that I really enjoy. I like houseplants a lot. I love houseplants actually. Over the summer while I was working on my camper, I neglected my houseplants. I'm not saying you should do that. I certainly shouldn't have. And most of mine died. And it was really sad when I had to come in for the fall and be stuck inside and no houseplants. So, well, very few. So over the last few months, I've been repopulating my houseplant collection, almost to the point of obsession. And when I say obsession, I'm not talking about I'm so obsessed. I'm talking about like literally, I'm gonna have to stop collecting these because it's just become a really strong passion, and I'm running out of room. But with that being said, I'm still gonna share with you this African violet. I have grown African violets for many years. That was supposed to be African violets. There we go. And I used to grow them in my cube at work under the fluorescent lights that were on my desk. You know, those little under cabinets, and they did great. I did not have much luck at home. But yesterday I saw this one and I absolutely could not pass it up. Look how gorgeous this is. And look, tripod. I finally got a tripod. But look at this plant. It is hard to believe that this is real. I mean, these leaves are absolutely spectacular. I wanted to put it on a tripod so I could kind of show you the plant and handle it a little bit better. But this is, it's just an African violet, except look at this. This is absolutely amazing. So I'm going to give you kind of a 360 perspective on this plant. I have never seen one like this. I am terrified I'm going to kill it. Because like I said, mine don't normally grow well at home. I'm not sure why at work they would grow, but and not here. I might have just bent this leaf. That's right, I dropped it right before turning the camera on. I'm gonna leave this thing alone so I don't end up smashing it before it gets a chance to grow. But look at these leaves. It's just a regular African violet. It just has, it wasn't smooth, was it? I guess you get what you pay for. I got my tripod at Five Below. I just wanted to show you, look at this leaf. I can't believe that that leaf is real. It is, because you can see it, but look at that. Oh, I think it finally focused. It's still not coming across super clearly. That's an Android phone for you, but look at this leaf. It has white, lime green, and dark green all in one. Just absolutely amazing. This one, I swear I think I see like just a tiny bit of pink right there, but it's white and then kind of like a gray green and then a dark green. This one has white and dark green. I mean, this one is almost a half moon. I don't really know what the definition of that is. I just learned about them recently. But white, that neon green, that gray green, and it's got dark green. These leaves are absolutely spectacular. I mean, the flowers are nothing to ignore either. I'm trying to see if I can get, you can kind of see that sparkly, almost like crystalline kind of effect. This is just a really outstanding plant, and I normally have a lot of confidence in my plants, but when I get something special like this, I always get a little bit nervous about it not growing. I didn't even talk about these leaves right here. Look at these. Same thing. You know, like a neon green right there, like that gray green, and this dark green, the same thing too. And if I'm really careful, if you look down in there, you can see that one right by my thumb. I just thought that this plant was so special. I was going to do a plant tour of my house. Like I said, I live in central Ohio, and the weather here is pretty dreadful. I mean, we get winter. Although winter for us isn't cold and snow. Winter for us is absolutely dreary. It's gray and it's cold. Sometimes it's gray and it's warmer. But while I can't work on my camper, I do stuff in my house. You know, I do DIYs and other things. But houseplants, like I said, have been kind of my thing lately. This was so special that I really wanted to share it with you all so you could see it too, because this is not something, it's not something I've ever seen. So I just wanted to give you a quick look. It is just a regular, go back out. Oops, sorry about that. It was really just a regular African violet. It just has really specially variegated leaves. If anyone is watching this and they know, if it is a special type of African violet, please let me know. What I might do once it gets a little bit bigger and I feel like I have success with it here, I may try to propagate those leaves. I know a lot of times people want to propagate the special leaves, but sometimes it's at the expense of the mother plant, and that's not something I really want to do. But once I feel like it's, established, gotten used to my home, and I can see that there's growth on it, I'm definitely going to try to propagate some of these leaves so I can get some more of these plants. I don't know if you're aware of this, but if you take, I don't have anything in front of me to show you this, but it's really simple. If you take, like, for example, this leaf right here, scooch over a little bit. If you take this leaf and you cut it, and I'm not a big fan of plastic wrap, but if you just take like a normal cup, this is kind of a good example. So for example, if you take this leaf right here and cut it back, I'd probably cut it back to right about there, and you put it in a cup like this, put a piece of plastic film over the top of it, and then make sure that it stays in place. Because the type of cup this is, I could take a piece of plastic wrap, put it down over it, and it would cling to the sides. And then you want to, well, actually, before you do that, put some filtered water in this cup, take a piece of plastic film, put it over top of it, and make sure it's firmly attached to the sides. Poke a hole in it just big enough for that leaf stem to fit through, and then take that cutting and put it in there. That way that the leaf rests on top of the plastic wrap, never touches the water, which will rot it. And then meanwhile, it will start to grow. It'll look scary at first, like it's going mushy, but it should start to grow new leaves. Yes, underwater. It's pretty amazing. You want to make sure that you change the water out. I would say probably not any more than weekly. And I can do a video on how to propagate an African violet leaf if you would like. Just leave a comment down below. So while it's underneath the surface, those little baby leaves will start to grow, and then it will start to grow roots. And I like to let the leaves get probably maybe like an inch big. And then you can take it out of the water and plant it in soil. Be very watchful of what's happening, because sometimes the transition between water and soil can be very stressful for the leaf and basically the new plant. So that is how you propagate an African violet leaf, and definitely something I'm going to be doing this with this one once I realize that it is has adjusted to the environment and is doing really, really well. Also, just as an extra tip, somebody asked me how you get African violets to bloom. When I worked in an office, I had my African violets on a stand, so they were only about 4 or 5 inches away from fluorescent lighting. I used an African violet fertilizer specifically for African violets, and I only used African violet soil. Those two things matter a lot to an African violet. You can goof around with a lot of other plants, but you need specific soil for African violets, cacti, and even sometimes the tropical plants. But this one doesn't need transplanting right now. I'm just going to leave it alone. I've got it about 3 feet away from an east-facing window. I'm going to see how it does. If it doesn't do well, I'm going to move it, because obviously I want to make sure that I get to keep this plant. I'm trying to keep you guys away from what I have food on my countertop here, but I just wanted to show this and share a couple extra tips with you. I feel like this thing is so special, I should name it. So if you feel like this plant should have a name, leave that down in the comment. Please leave me a thumbs up so my channel can continue to grow. Feel free to subscribe if this content has been helpful to you. And again, like I said, if you would like a video, I can actually show you how to do a leaf propagation from an African violet. It's really very simple, and it's quite rewarding. I think that's it for today. It's been swell, but the swelling's gone down. Thanks for watching. Bye.